It's Thursday! October 31st. My wife is a little excited about the holiday.
Very skeletons.
I think she's really just excited because her class decided to cancel because enough people had kids that like half her class was gonna be there, so the teacher's just like, we'll skip.
And they've already had a lot of candy.
Yeah. So I made buffalo dip. So he's gonna have some buffalo dip. That's good. And then she mentioned the candy. We've got candy. We've got a whole bucket of candy. It's a Taylor Swift popcorn bucket, but it's full of candy now. Oh no, candy's falling out. What do we do with that?
Eat it.
Okay. But more excitingly, we's doing movie day.
More.
We're gonna watch Casper. He's a friendly ghost. And this is from what? Is it 1995?
No, before I was born.
Yeah. This is before she was around. It's like, I remember it from my childhood.
My parents had just gotten married.
But yeah, so he's gonna get ourselves some buffalo dip, settle in, and watch Casper.
Dun-dun-dun.
And I would give Casper a 5.9 out of 10.
I think so.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fun. It's a fun little kids movie.
Yeah.
And it is definitely mid-90s, and it does play around a lot with cameos and references that are funny. There's
dated.
Yeah, it's very dated.
Yeah.
But also, like, I was growing up when the references were all of it, so there's more funny to me. But
I wasn't.
Whatever.
I didn't get them.
But whatever, there was whatever. Of course, the Ghostbusters one. Rodney Dangerfield.
Don't.
Mel Gibson, Clint Eastwood. Just ones where like they show up for like literally a single shot that is less than 10 seconds, but where they got, recognizable people in it. And then there's other like Arnold Schwarzenegger jokes with the Casper turning into like that kind of character. And, come with me if you want to live.
I didn't pick up on those.
But Eric Idle is fun. I always like Eric Idle. Big fan of the Pythons though. So Eric Idle.
Who?
Dibs. The very clearly evil lady's friend.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
But yeah, the villain is very cliche and like from the start you can be like, oh, she's evil. Although to be fair, you can tell how she ended up evil. She grew up in a house with a father that cared so much more about protecting the animals than his own daughter.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. But otherwise, at the end, everyone just starts kicking the bucket so that the story could suddenly progress. Really weird. School just has the Halloween dance at someone's house.
Well, it's also like it's just one classes.
Well, it's all acted like it's one class, but then when they actually show up,
it's like
that room is full.
Yeah, it's bigger than that.
It was interesting, like all of the generic costumes in there, because they're just like all these kids in generic costumes. There is one that is a nun with a big old cigar, and I'm like, oh yes, the 90s, when a middle schooler could go to their school event dressed in their nun smoking a cigar Halloween costume.
Yeah, as you do. Yeah, it kind of baffled me that they're like, we can't have the Halloween party at the school because of asbestos.
Oh yeah.
Right, obviously. So one child offers up her boathouse voluntarily with parental permission.
Yeah.
And then they find out that the new girl lives in the scary, spooky house. And then without asking parental permission...
Or her,
they just...
The teacher.
Like, the teacher votes and, like, brings up using her house as the place for the party. And that's really probably about where I tuned out the most. Because I was like, ooh, buddy.
Well, to be fair, this is the teacher that already deliberately misused her name, because I
Yeah.
don't think that he, being able to eye her and see that is a young girl, thinks that her name is Harvey.
Well, and also,
So he deliberately swapped her name
I'm
around.
honest, Catherine's not a common last name, especially not in the 90s. Like, you would assume, you would gender assume. You would assume her gender by looking at her name and be like, nah.
It's probably also just always written the same way, that he's
Right.
deliberately doing a thing to do it, and then makes her go in front of the whole class to try and embarrass
he's
her.
honestly awful.
He's a pretty bad teacher.
And yeah.
Although I will say, for mid-90s, while the special effects are not like trying to be realistic, they were good.
Yeah,
they were good.
yeah.
Obviously, a good combination of practical with visual effects.
Mm-hmm.
Just literally because you can see through the ghosts, all the things have to be moving around on their own.
And I will say, because I think it might be more 80s movies that are doing that, Labyrinth or whatever, you know, the girl was appropriately aged with the romance.
Yeah, you had some issues with like Labyrinth and stuff.
Age romance, which I appreciate.
She was probably, 13 and he was, 12 we were in? So
like 13, 12, like, she kind of knows some things, but like, you know, it was appropriately aged, which I appreciated. There was no, like, weird adult, like,
it still was creepy. Still was creepy that Casper kept asking if he could keep her.
It was, but it just, it kind of like the spooky way of like a, you know, like a ghost wanting to keep a living human. Seems like they might want to keep you, you know, even when you're no longer a living human, or like keep you at that age and just murder you to keep you as a ghost with them. So, you know, which they did that a little bit with the three uncles.
Yeah.
Wanting to do that with the dad. But that felt less than like a weird creep. It was kind of like a funny of like a, he should be a part of our group.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like, oh no, we can't kill him. And
the uncles at the beginning seem so evil.
Yeah.
And they have their evil interaction. Mm-hmm. And then they go into the vacuum bag where ghosts, being able to go through solid objects, they're stuck for some reason. That didn't come up to you?
No, I mean, obviously they were able to get out at some point. It's kind of one of those things that, like, the same way that they can hold glass and, or Casper could pour orange juice through his hand and decide to catch the pulp and let the juice run through.
Yeah.
I think they're just like, oh no, we're stuck in the bag for a little bit. And they're like, okay, we're really bored of this. And then decided, you know,
anyways, the next morning, they just start being cool with him hanging out in the house. They're like, instead of we're going to get rid of you, it's, all right, we're roommates now, basically.
Yeah.
We're going to start as grumpy. So we've gone from aggressive fighting. The next morning, we're grumpy roommates. And then they just start being
right, they're
pals.
like, hey, like, let's take you out to the bar. Our therapist, you clearly need a drink. You know? Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, no. Very much, very 90s. The whole Up and Atom machine, very Rube Goldberg kind of contraption-y kind of thing, which wish we loved that in the 90s, I'll just tell you.
And it's not a thing. It's not conventional use.
Yeah. But the thing is also, like, even like that idea that that's his father was invented, did that, you started to see that at the start when Casper was making the eggs, and there was just like the weird way that the eggs got separated.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you're not
There's
thinking too much about it, but yeah, there's contraptions.
And secret panels and walls. And
yeah, all fun stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, is Casper. It's fun.
Yeah. 5.9, so that makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah. I feel like I liked it more when I was younger.
Probably a solid 7 for a 90s kid.
But anyways, is Halloween. We's not eating too much candy yet.
No, I has sleepies. We
You
had
sleepies?
tornado drill.
Yeah, we got
middle
woken
of
up
the
at like
night.
3 o'clock in the morning
3:30.
with her phone going off with the tornado alarm.
Tornado drill.
Yeah.
We didn't do a very good job. We did not seek shelter. We're in Missouri.
Yeah, it was kind of if it gets us, turn that off. I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah. Well, and then it was like, how do I turn this off? I'm so sleepy.
But yeah, so we might get to bed a little early. Try and catch up on a little
Maybe.
sleeps. She yawning already.
I know, I'm just tired.
She was falling asleep during the movie.
It was a fine movie. The boring ones make me go to sleep.
She's just tired.
It is a little bit childish.
It's kids movie. It's kids movie's fun.
We was gonna watch a kids movie no matter what.
Yeah, we had judged between a few different Halloweeny kids movies. I didn't want to watch an actual. I did not. I was not in the mood to watch an actual spooky movie.
No, not on a work night. You can maybe get away with it on a weekend where it's like you have some time to decompress from it.
No.
But I wasn't really thinking an actual spooky movie. I think I recommended like I recommend like Coco.
Which we don't have.
We could watch on Disney Plus.
Yeah, but movie day.
I know.
Thank you for joining us. Join us as our journey continues.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Happy Halloween.